Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we're going to talk about fresh release from Miniart, and this is quite an interesting set because it comes in 1/72 scale, and this is quite unusual size for this brand. I would say it's a first release from them in this small scale, and as you can see straight away they're shooting with big guns because it's a StuG 3 Ausf.G, and it's a February 1943 Alkett production in 1/72 scale, and obviously it is related to the bigger 135 scale brother from the same brand, but here it will be interesting to see what is actually molded and copied in this set and how it is faring in this small size, let's say, dimensions. You can see that the kit number is 72101, and we have a commercial sample here, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff if you order it from any good model shop. For example, Modelimex has it for sure, and it has it available, and you can order it together with other Miniart releases. So first of all, here you can know that the box size is not that huge. Here is comparison with my hand. We have quite simple box art here. I guess it was done in order to simplify a bit of the let's say budget for the model, who knows. And here we also have the safety advices, address of the manufacturer, and also barcode as well as the QR code here. While on the opposite side you can see 4 marking options, and also mention that decals are coming from cartograph. And 4 markings for a 1/72 scale vehicle is really cool. As you can see, we have the top opening box, and here on the top you'll find the plastic bag with all of the sprues inside, and we also have the assembly manual on the bottom. So I'm going to open this plastic bag and we will start checking everything together. But in the meantime, I can also remind you that we reviewed the bigger set as well, so in case you're interested in slightly bigger release, so definitely check it out on our YouTube channel. And I have to say that the 135 scale release is really nice, but it requires some skills and also some patience as well, because sometimes some features are quite cumbersome. And now you can hear I'm struggling with the plastic bag because it's kind of sealed together with another plastic bag, so I have to tear it apart a bit, because otherwise I won't be able to remove it, and that's quite a shame. That's why I'm saying always that the resealable plastic bags, they are always better than the sealed plastic bags. So first of all, on the top we had this small envelope with the PE thread. It's easy to open, and here we have a small unpainted PE thread, so I will zoom in a bit so that you can see what we are talking about here. So those are unpainted photo edge parts, and I think they are quite useful even in this small scale, because some of the features still cannot be pre-molded, so that's why those parts will come handy in order to copy some of those features. Next, we continue with 2 identical plastic sprues. Those are sprues AH. As you can see, there are 2 of them. I will show you only one, because they carry the same set of parts. And here we have the track parts. As you can see, those are separate track links or track length, and we have also track links here. Obviously the track links, they will be used in order to be assembled around the drive sprocket, for example, or the front idlers, but you can see that the overall molding quality looks really good, and here you can check those parts from the opposite side. So really nice thing. In this scale I think it still can be appreciated, so definitely a good item to have in the standard package. Next we continue with the sprue CE. So I will show it like that because here, as you can see, it's quite small, and even now it fits into the frame, and you can see that those are actually the hull parts. If I flip it over here, you can check them from the opposite side, and as you can guess, there are no interior whatsoever, and it would be kind of strange to expect the interior in 1/72 scale, even though some brands actually do in this. So who knows, maybe Miniart will also come up with this. Next we have the separate Ziploc bag with decals and clear frame. So first are the decals. We have them from cartograph, as you remember, so that's why you shouldn't be worried too much about the printing quality. And as for the clear sprue, here it is. We have all of the necessary visors for the let's say this vehicle, but I'm not sure if masks are included. So if and it's, I would say, traditional for Miniart. If they are not included, you will have to cut your own stickers. Next, we continue with another plastic sprue. So here you can see that we have the side shelves, and note that the Pioneer tools here are promoted. Quite an interesting decision, because some brands prefer to have them separate, some brands go this way. So I know some modders are not huge fans of such solutions, so it will be up to you whether you would like to have this, but note that it's really cool. They are detailed from the opposite side as well, even though here we have small push marks, even though I'm not sure if those are actually push marks, because as you can see here we do not have them. So if you are let's say have a bit of better knowledge than me in this vehicle, feel free to comment in the comment section below. Next, we continue with those lower hull section parts. As you can see, the rear armor wall, the front plates. Also here we have the side walls, which are molded together with suspension arms. So it means you get the right alignment of the suspension parts out of the box, and this is really cool because you won't have to waste your time trying to align those bars. And if I flip it over here inside, you can see again it's empty because this is not an interior kit again. And remind you, but attachment points, as you saw, are quite thin, so it should be easy to separate them. Next, we continue with the sprue A. So it's supplied in two pieces. Here we have the drivetrain parts. It means the road wheels and drive sprockets. As you can see, there are a lot of them. This is the famous feature of the German vehicle suspension. And for the drive sprockets, if we zoom in back, and I will pick them out like that. So here you can see that we have attachment points right in between the teeth. So be careful while separating those parts, because it might be easy to damage those tender details. And here you can see also the road wheels. If I flip them over, of course we have some guiding elements which will help you with alignment of them between each other. For the drive sprocket, I can see we also have some guiding elements here, so that's also covered, and it looks more or less fine. Of course, the amount of the road wheels, it will take some time to be assembled. It will be a bit tedious and repeating task, but I think this is something what you cannot avoid if you would like to build the German vehicle in whatever scale you prefer. Next, we continue with a bigger plastic sprue. So I guess those ones will be non-specific for the version of the StuG, because here, as you can see, we have various Pioneer tools. We also have the separate hatches. We have some minor elements for the external features, and we even have these towing cable loops. And I guess for the towing cable you have to use your own metal wire. So if I zoom in here, you can check what I was talking about. And overall, there are, I would say, a huge amount of the small parts. So be careful with this and try to use the special tools. Maybe tweezers will help, because otherwise it will be a nightmare to install them into the right spot. And one more plastic sprue is dedicated to the superstructure, and also I can see some parts for the main gun. And just give me a second, I was checking it closer while I was picking it from the box. So I think we should zoom in straight away, because all of the interesting parts are here. So for example, you can notice the muzzle brake is molded as a single piece part. Here we also have some parts for the main gun. Here we have the track length, also these armor panels for the superstructure, and more of the panels go in here. Again, here you can notice that the hatch is separated, and that's actually the hatch. I'm not sure if you will be able to open it, but at least it is molded separately, so it will look a bit more convincing on the finished model. But overall, I would say it's a quite good level of details for such a small vehicle. And just in order to understand how it should be assembled, we have here the assembly manual. Maybe I'll close the lenses a bit more. So the brochure itself is also smaller. Here is comparison with my hand. We don't have the parts count, but it's written that we have decals actually for 5 marking options. So here you can see first 2 markings, and they are, I would say, somewhat traditional for German vehicle. Here you can see also the parts map. As usual, Miniart does not show which parts are unused, so pay attention to what you will be installing. And the assembly process starts with the lower hull section, then we continue with the side skirts. We assemble the superstructure out of the separate panels, and this is pretty much mimicking what we have on the bigger scale version as well. So next we continue with the rear deck, as you can see. And we also install some Pioneer tools and spare tracks. Also here you can see the towing cable. You will have to use the 57mm length of the metal wire for it. We have the separate antennas. Again, your metal wire will be used here. Another towing cable here. You have some assembly options for the marking option 4. It will be the spare wheel. Again, you have to use the metal wire in order to replicate the holders of the spare wheels. Next, we continue with the parts for the option 4. So those are P parts. And you have to do some bending. That will be quite a funny thing to do in 1/72 scale. We also have the colors chart. 2 more marking options. So that's the marking option 4. And next we continue with the marking option 5 here, which is also quite interesting. So overall I think it's a really cool release in 1/72 scale. I am a fan of such small armored vehicles because it's always cool to work with tiny parts, and you can find some builds on our YouTube channel as well. But as for this one, I absolutely recommend it. I think I will plan it for a future build because it looks like an interesting project to have in 1/72 scale. And of course I will be happy to hear your opinion. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.